is not the NFL on CBS. It is Core 4 Productions, covering the Detroit Lions with the Detroit Pistons in the background.
Definitely not. Yeah, it's Core 4 Productions.
It is Core 4 Productions. I am Travis Moquin.
And Tyler Crone here.
And we're here to talk about the Lions. What a depressing topic. None of us really want to be doing this right now, but we're going to go over what they've done so far, what they're going to do, what they should do in the NFL draft, and everything like that.
He's making me, but we can just go on with it.
None of us really want to. And so, just go over the moves. First off, they released quarterback Dan Orlovsky, who went to Houston. No loss, in my opinion.
Yeah. He ran out of bounds.
He ran out of bounds in the back of the end zone. That's probably one of the stupidest plays I've ever seen in my life. You watch it and you just laugh. You just laugh. And so he's not going to do anything with the Texans. I mean, he couldn't do anything with Calvin Johnson. Other notable players we did not resign was Sean Cody, defensive tackle. He's kind of young. I thought we should have kept him around a little bit.
Well, now he's swimming, so it's all right.
Now he's swimming. George Foster. Of course, we traded Dre Bly for him 2 years ago.
That was again. That's the reason why we went 0 So yeah.
And Rudy Johnson, the running back, acquired halfway through this season. Not going to bring him back. Paris Lennon, the middle linebacker. Sean McDonald, and Stanley Wilson.
Paris Lennon is probably our most best defensive player besides,
Well, he's not going to be back.
Yeah, that's true.
So, free agency. To this point, they've made a few moves. That we brought in running back Maurice Morris from Seattle, and he obviously didn't do a whole lot in Seattle, but maybe he can come to Detroit and get a few short yard situation carries. Former Tennessee Titans cornerback Eric King never really had too much success, but keep in mind we are bringing in Tennessee defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz to run the team.
Yes.
Wide receiver Bryant Johnson from the 49ers also coming in. Defensive tackle Grady Jackson, who is 350 pounds.
That's going to help us out since we got rid of the refrigerator,
Big body in the middle, that's for sure. Cornerback Phillip Buchanan, coming off a 2-interception season in Tampa, struggled a little bit lately in his career, but had some good days earlier on. And Lions also finally get rid of John Kitna, cornerback Anthony Henry. No kidding. And I thought they were going to cut him anyway, but they got what they did for him, so that's good. And speaking of the Cowboys, they cut Terrell Owens and Roy Williams in the same day. And speculation as to where Owens will go. We'll get to that later. And the Lions need to pick up safety Roy Williams. That's a glaring hole on the defense.
Yeah, we need help on anything. We need a miracle. As you can see, I really don't want to talk about this subject. It just makes me just want to tear up and just kill and die.
I think Roy Williams could come in and help the run defense a lot, though. Obviously, he struggles in the pass defense, but who doesn't in the Lions? He'd fit right in. And shaking things up in the front office a little bit this year for the Lions, Martin Mayhew is going to come in as the general manager, replacing Matt Millen, who is about 30 and 80 as a general manager. Obviously, Lions fans know a lot about that. Not good. And Jim Schwartz coming in from Tennessee to lead the team. Scott Linehan from the Rams coming in on offense. And Gunther Cunningham coming over from Kansas City to run the defense. And players like these coaches. They say they're easy to get along with. And they like playing, the practices. So
yeah,
hopefully that'll loosen up the team a little bit. And there'll be a lot of things different from when Morinelli ran the team. Or Marinelli, his real name.
I can tell you like talking about this subject, and
I don't, trust me. And one thing that will be different is no more cover 2 defense. They're going to move to a base 4-3 both time because, what was our pass defense rank last year?
30.
Was it ranked?
Yeah, that's actually better. I think it was in like the high school rankings, pretty much around there. I would say college maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how they'd stack up against some college offenses, but Marinelli will be out. He went to Chicago, going to coach the defensive line, and
I'm sorry, he's just a joke in my opinion.
He
should be washing my feet or something.
Definitely a joke, that's for sure.
All right.
And Jim Schwartz headed the NFL Combine this past week, and there's a lot of disappointments and some surprises at the NFL Combine. Michael Crabtree being one of the main disappointments. Turns out he's only 6'1". A lot of people throughout college thought he was 6'4". Big guy, but
how could they get that wrong? Seriously, you can stand up next to the person and say you're not 6'4".
And here's my opinion on this. I say, you look at a guy. If you're 5'10", you can tell if someone's 6'1" compared to 6'4".
You're like what, 6'2"?
6'1".
You're 6'1". Okay,
So,
well there you
I mean,
go.
I could tell if I walked up to Michael Crabtree and he was as tall as me, I'd be
He's
like,
just black. That's it, and you're white. So
right, you know. I mean, I don't know how you would screw that up unless it was somehow rigged. And Michael Crabtree will have surgery on his foot instead of running a 40-yard dash. A lot of people say that will hurt his draft stock. We'll have to wait out and see. Just hopefully the Lions don't take him, that's all.
He's full of himself. That's it.
And Andre Smith obviously having some character trouble, not showing up to the NFL Combine at all. Obviously, a lot of people expect him to fall, maybe even out of the top 10.
Yeah.
Who knows? And a lot of people went up. Aaron Curry, the middle linebacker, you know, some mock drafts have Detroit taking him first overall. There's other positions that need to be addressed, but he is considered the safest pick in the draft. Jason Smith, the offensive tackle, also with a great combine. I think he could come in and help the Lions considerably. So what do the Lions do in the draft with the first overall?
I think they should just draft a new team. I don't. You know, they should sell it and then rebuy it. That just change the whole name. I mean, we've been around for what, 50-something years.
Yep.
So even more than that.
More than that.
Way more than that. What am I talking about? We never even won. We won a championship. We never won a Super Bowl. What kind of crap is that?
They won the Super Bowl, you know, or the championship a few years before.
National championship.
Right.
What?
In 57.
57.
Which was a couple years before the Super Bowl even came around, so the fans can't even brag about that. And so how do they spend their first overall pick? Do you want them to take Stafford?
Sure.
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 You know, I think that Scott Linehan has worked with Culpepper in the past. That's when he has had success. And those were also, of course, the Randy Moss days, but he's got Kelvin Johnson now, so maybe it could work. I would say, you know, if I was picking for the Lions, I would say either Michael or the offensive tackle. I mean, we need help on the offensive line.
Yeah, we need help defense, offense.
That's just terrible.
Start offense. Your lines are the best.
And other possibilities for the Lions, they also have that later first-round pick from the Cowboys they got early in the season from Roy Williams. I would like to see him take Laurinaitis there.
Yes, yeah.
Guy
You don't
from
see
Ohio
too many good white linebackers besides, you know, the great.
Yeah, right.
And, well, even the guy, Hawk isn't even doing too bad. Well, he's outside linebacker, right? Yes.
Right.
He's not, he's all right, but nothing special.
If they do take a quarterback, though, I'd like to see him draft offensive line in this spot. You know, maybe Duke Robinson, the guard.
Yeah, yeah.
Another defensive position, Tyson Jackson, the defensive end. Detroit will pick first in front of St. Louis and Kansas City. Seattle is going to be in there at the 4 spot.
Your team?
My team, that's right. We'll talk about them a little later with Hushman Zada. But and then it's Cleveland, Cincinnati, Oakland, Jacksonville, Green Bay, and San Francisco. So a lot of bad teams rounding out that top 10, as you would expect. And some other moves in the NFL. Tight end Kellen Winslow from the Browns is going to be headed to Tampa Bay. I think that's good for the Buccaneers. And Albert Hainsworth obviously signing a record deal, 7 years, $100 million.
Man, oh man.
I think that's very overpaid for a defensive player.
I think it's overpaid for any NFL player. NFL players shouldn't get paid this much money.
I agree.
I think they should get paid, you know, I think, oh, your firefighters and cops, whatever. It's
Put their
all
lives on the line, and we have guys like this just making $100 million. And
Oprah.
Brian Dawkins from the Eagles is going to be headed to Denver along with Coral Buckhalter and Andre Davis. So Denver's trying to move into contention. Of course, they tried trading Cutler.
You gotta hurry up, I'm getting bored.
Yeah. The
I'm
Lions
serious,
almost
getting
picked up Cutler. And the Seahawks, like I said, signed Hushman Zada. That's an excellent pickup for them. He's going to come in and do a lot. Buccaneers, Derek Ward is going to come in there. Kind of insignificant because Derek Ward obviously is not that good of a back. So the Buccaneers can't really expect him to do a whole lot. And, of course, the Cowboys cut Terrell Owens. Where do you see him going?
Nowhere.
Nowhere? Think he's gonna
You know,
retire?
oh no, he won't retire. He's gonna make some big controversy over something about that. He's just gonna keep growing and growing. He'll go to a team. He ain't gonna be as good. There's no way.
I would definitely agree. Well, that's all for the NFL coverage we have. When we come back, we'll cover the NBA.